Hello and welcome to Toy and Stitches. In this video, we're going to be making a simple and quick crocheted cowl. The cowl is made up of double crochet, single crochet, and what's known as plump post stitches. The plump post gives it this nice texture, and I think it's best worked in a variegated or self-striping yarn that'll help to emphasize the texture. To make your cowl, you're going to first need some yarn. The yarn I used is called Muse Aran, and I had bought it from We Crochet a couple years ago. The color is called Elation. I'm not 100% sure because I lost the label, but when I looked on the website, the color Elation looks the closest to what I have. And I had two hanks, and this is what I have left over. So the project doesn't use a lot of yarn either. This yarn is categorized as a number 4 heavy worsted, so it's on the thicker side of worsted. I paired it with a 6mm hook, but you can use whatever yarn and corresponding hook you choose. You will also need a tape measure, tapestry needle, and some scissors. So go ahead, grab your supplies, and let's get started. To make our cowl, we're going to be working the piece flat and then sewing the short ends together. Our stitches are going to make up the height of the cowl, and then we're going to work the rows until we get to the length that we need to make up the overall circumference of the cowl. So we're just going to work it until it gets to about 20 to 22 inches is what I'm going for, and then the height of it is about 8 inches. So what we're going to do first is we're going to chain a multiple of 4 plus 3. So our stitch pattern is worked over a multiple of 4 plus 3. So what you're going to do right now is you're just going to place a slip knot on your hook, and you're going to chain a multiple of 4 until you get to about 8 inches, and then add 3 more chains. So I'm going to go ahead and chain my multiple of 4 until I get to about 8 inches, and then I'll add 3 more, and I'll meet you back when I have my completed chain. So I've completed my chain. I have 27 chains, which is my multiple of 4, which gives me 24 plus 3, which gives me 27, and that gets me to about 8 inches. I do anticipate for it to get a little bit wider as I work my stitches into it, but I don't foresee kind of growing more than an inch, which I'm okay with. So to start, our first row, which is our setup row, is going to be a row of double crochet, and I'm going to be working a stacked single crochet in my very first chain. So I'm not adding any additional turning chains. If you don't like to use the stacked single crochet as your first stitch, what you can do here is add 2 more chains and then work into the 4th chain from the hook, and then your 3 skipped chains will count as a double crochet. But for me, I'm just going to work directly into my first stitch and work a stacked single crochet. So I'm just going to insert my hook under the bottom bump of my first chain, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Now I'm going to insert my hook under this front loop here, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. And now from this point, I'm just going to work double crochet stitches all the way along my chain. So I'm just going to yarn over and work a double crochet in the next chain. And I'm just going to continue working double crochet stitches all the way across my chain. So you go ahead and do that, and I'll meet you when I get to the end of the row. I've completed my row of double crochet, and I just went over and did a count to make sure I still have my 27 stitches. Now I'm going to turn, and for row 2, we're going to be working a row of single crochet. So I'm going to chain 1, and then I'm going to single crochet into the first stitch and into each stitch across the row. So you're just going to go across and work a row of single crochet, and I'll meet you at the end of the row. I've completed my row 2, and now we're going to move on to row 3. And for row 3 is where we're going to start working our plump posts, which is similar to just a regular post stitch, but you're going to pull up more than just one loop. So in my first stitch, I'm going to work a stacked single crochet. So I'm going to, without chaining, insert into my first stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through both loops on my hook, and then I'm going to insert my hook into that front loop, and yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through both loops on my hook, and that's going to count as my first double crochet. And now I'm going to work a double crochet in the next 2 stitches. So yarn over, a double crochet in 1 stitch, yarn over, double crochet in 2 stitches. So now we have 3 double crochets at the beginning of our row. And now we're going to work a plump post around the 4th double crochet 2 rows down. So we have to make sure we're getting the right stitch. So what I like to do is just count my double crochets in that row. So that's 1, 2, 3. And now I know I need to go around the 4th double crochet. So I'm going to yarn over and I'm going to insert my hook behind that double crochet. I'm going to yarn over and I'm going to pull up a loop, and you want to pull that loop all the way up high and then hold on to it with your finger, yarn over, hold on to that loop because you don't want to pull it back down, and then insert your hook around the double crochet again, pull up another loop, make sure you pull it up to the height of your other loops, yarn over and pull through 1, 2, 3, 4 loops. You should have 5 loops on your hook. You're going to pull through 4 loops. And now you have 2 loops on your hook. You're going to yarn over and pull through the last 2 loops. So that is your first plump post. And now we're going to work 3 double crochet in the next 3 stitches. And we're going to make sure that we skip the stitch behind the plump post. So just tilt your work towards you so you can see it. So we're going to skip this stitch here and then work 3 double crochet in the next 3 stitches. So here we go. This is 1 double crochet, 2, and 3. And now we're going to work another plump post around the 4th double crochet. So just to make sure we're going around the correct stitch, we're going to go 1, 2, 3, and then we know we're going to be working around this double crochet right here. So we yarn over, insert our hook behind the stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, and it helps if you hold on to the base of the stitch so you don't pull that stitch up. So you're getting your loops nice and high, yarn over, insert your hook around that stitch again, hold on to it and pull up your loop. So now you should have 5 loops on your hook. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to yarn over and pull through 4 loops. And then we're going to yarn over again and pull through 2 loops. And we're going to continue doing that until we get to our last 4 stitches. So I'm going to do that with you once more. We're going to remember to skip this stitch and then work a double crochet in the next 3 stitches. So that's 1, 2, and 3. And we're going to work a double crochet around a plump post around the 4th double crochet. 1, 2, 3, and now we're going to work around this one here. Yarn over, insert your hook behind that double crochet, hold on to it and pull your loop up nice and high, yarn over and do that again, insert your hook behind, yarn over, hold on to the stitch, pull your loop up, make sure all your loops are the same height, yarn over, pull through the first 4 loops on your hook, then yarn over, pull through the last 2 loops on your hook. And you're going to continue doing that until you have 4 stitches left. So continue doing that and I'll meet you when you have 4 stitches left. So I'm at the point now where I have 4 stitches left. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to work a plump post around this double crochet right here. So we have 1, 2, 3. I work a plump post. So yarn over, insert your hook behind that stitch, pull up a loop, and again, yarn over, pull through 4 loops, yarn over, pull through 2, and then you're going to complete the row by working a double crochet in the last 3 stitches. So that's 1, 2, and 3. And that is the end of our row 3. So now we're going to work our row 4, and row 4 is another row of single crochet. So you're going to turn your work, chain 1, and work a single crochet in each stitch across to the end of the row. So go ahead and do that, and I'll meet you at the end of the row. I've completed my row 4, and now we're going to move on to row 5. And row 5 is similar to row 3, where we're going to be working our double crochets and plump posts. But what we're going to be doing is working the plump posts in between the ones from the row below. So I'm going to start the row by working a stacked single crochet in the first stitch. I'm going to insert my hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, pull through 2 loops, and then into that front loop, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. And now we're going to be working a plump post around this second double crochet right here. So we have our first stitch, and now our second stitch is going to be a plump post. So we're going to yarn over, insert our hook around the second double crochet, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, insert our hook behind that stitch again, pull up another loop, and then yarn over, pull through 4 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through the last 2 loops on your hook. And now you're going to work 3 double crochets, making sure that you skip the stitch behind the post stitch. So you're going to be working 1, 2, 3 double crochets. So here we go. That's 1 double crochet, 2, and 3. And now for your next plump post, it's going to go around the center double crochet of the 3 from the row below. So when you're looking at it, you have a plump post here, 3 double crochet, and then another plump post. So you're just going to be working around the one in the middle. So you're going to yarn over, insert your hook behind that stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop, and you're going to do it once more. Then you're going to yarn over and pull through the first 4 loops, and then yarn over, pull through the next 2 loops, and then work 3 double crochets and continue working plump post in the center double crochet of the 3 from the row 2 rows below all the way across your row. So we're going to work 3 double crochets. Here's 1, 2, 3, and then a plump post around this center double crochet here, and then 3 double crochet, and then another plump post. And you're just going to continue repeating that until you get to the end of the row. And you'll finish off your row the same way you started it, where you're going to work a plump post around your second to last stitch and then a double crochet in your last stitch. So I have 2 stitches left here, so I'm going to work a plump post around this stitch right here, and then a double crochet in my very last stitch. So from this point, you would continue working rows 2, 3, 4, and 5 for the duration of your project. We're working up to about 20 to 22 inches. I'm going to work one more repeat with you. So I'm going to do another row 2, 3, 4, and 5 with you, and then I'll leave you to finish everything off on your own. So from this point, our next row would be a row of single crochet. So we're going to turn our work, chain 1, and work a single crochet in each stitch all the way across our row. I've finished my row of single crochet, so now our next row will be similar to our row 3, where we started our row by working 3 double crochets and then working a plump post. And as you work, you're going to notice that all the posts are work in between the posts from the row below, which will be helpful as you go along. You'll know where to put your plump post stitches. So in my first stitch, I'm going to be working a stack single crochet instead of a chain. So I'm just going to insert, work a single crochet, and then through that front loop there, work another single crochet. And then I'm going to work a double crochet in the next 2 stitches. And now I'll be working a plump post around this center double crochet right here. So from the row 2 rows down, you can just look in between these 2 plump posts. There are 3 double crochet stitches. You're going to work your next post stitch around the center double crochet. So just yarn over, insert behind that stitch, pull up your loop, and again, yarn over, insert behind the stitch and pull up a loop, and then yarn over, pull through the first 4 loops, yarn over, pull through the last 2 loops, and then work 3 double crochets, making sure that we skip the stitch behind the post stitch. So here we go, 1, 2, 3, and then a plump post around this center double crochet. And you're just going to continue doing that all the way across your row, working 3 double crochets, then a plump post, 3 double crochets, and then a plump post until you get to your last 4 stitches where you'll work a plump post and then end the row with 3 double crochet stitches. So I'll meet you when you get to your last 4 stitches. All right, so I'm at the end of my row and I have 4 stitches left. So I'm going to be working a plump post around this center double crochet right here. And then I'm going to finish off my row with 3 double crochets. Now we're going to turn our work, and our next row is going to be a row of single crochet. So we're just going to chain 1 and work a single crochet in each stitch all the way across the row. So go ahead and do that, and I'll meet you at the end of the row. I've finished my row of single crochet, and now for my next row, we're going to be repeating what we did for our row 5, where we work 1 double crochet, then 1 plump post, then 3 double crochets, and then a plump post, and finish off the row with 1 single double crochet. So to start, again, I'm going to be working a stack single crochet in this first stitch. Now I'm going to work a plump post around this center double crochet right here. And now I'll work 1 double crochet in the next 3 stitches. And now a plump post around this center double crochet from the row to those 2 rows down. And now we're going to work 3 double crochet stitches. So you're going to continue working 3 double crochets, then a plump post, 3 double crochets, then a plump post until you have 2 stitches left. I'm almost at the end of my row now. I have 2 stitches left, so I'll work a plump post around this center double crochet and then a double crochet in my last stitch. So we work a plump post around this double crochet stitch. And then we're going to work a double crochet in our very last stitch. And that's what you'll continue doing until you get to the end of the project. So from here, just continue repeating rows 2, 3, 4, and 5 until your piece is at about 20 to 22 inches. So continue working until you get to the desired length, and I'll meet you back and we'll sew it all together. I am finished my cowl, and all I have left to do right now is just sew my ends together. But before I do that, I just wanted to mention a couple of things. When I finished stitching, I was at a length of 21 inches, and I gave my piece a light steam block, and it stretched 2 inches, so now it's at 23 inches. So you want to keep in mind the fiber content of the yarn you're using and how much it's going to stretch, and just err on the side of caution and make it slightly smaller, because the cowl is designed to fit close to the neck and stand up so you can see the stitches. It's not supposed to have any drape in it. So just as I did, I stopped at about 21 and it grew to 23 inches, which should be good for it to, once you sew it together, it'll stand up nice and close to the neck so you can get to see these beautiful stitches. And when you're finished, I ended on a row with the post stitches. I didn't add a row of single crochet. And what that'll do is when you fold it together to sew it, the row where you started will sit, the post stitches will sit in between where you ended, so everything will flow nicely. And I'm going to be using the mattress stitch just so you don't see my seam and everything flows nicely. So when you're ready to sew it together, all you need to do is just cut a length of the yarn that is 3 times the length of your seam, cut your yarn, fasten it off, and then you're just going to put your tail onto a tapestry needle and just work the mattress stitch up the seam and then fasten off and weave in the end. If you're not familiar with the mattress stitch, I will work just the first few stitches with you and then I'll leave you to sew it together. So I have my yarn on my tapestry needle, and with the right side of the fabric facing you, you're going to take your tapestry needle and insert it from the inside of the stitch on the left, coming up towards you. Careful not to split the yarn. So I'm going to come in like that, and then you're going to now go back from the inside through the stitch on the right and pull up your yarn. Now you're going to go through the stitch on the left, and then back through the stitch on the right, through the stitch on the left, and then through the stitch on the right. And you're just going to continue doing that as you work up your seam, and then pull on the yarn every few stitches to bring it together, not too tightly so that it starts to pucker, just enough so it sits together nice and firmly. And just continue doing that until you've completed your seam. Then just fasten off your yarn, weave in your end, and then you'll be all done. And we are done. I'll show you what my seam looks like. This is my seam right here. This is my finished cowl, and it's perfect for fall. It's also a really quick project that's also perfect for gifting. I really hope that you like this video. If you did, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Thank you for spending some time with me today. I really do appreciate it. And until next time, take care and bye for now.